No, because you have rebelled against the Lord. You had something, Apostle Gabar?
Yeah, this might be a good precept for the beasts that Apostle Paul had to face. 2 Peter 2:12, it says, "But these as natural brute beasts." Yeah, that's the spirit. "But these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken."
Yeah, because really, if you look at the beasts in the forest, what happens? Eventually, the hunter comes and hunts them down and made to be taken. Whether they're taken by their own, because you have the different animals of prey, and they prey upon other animals, or whether they're taken by people that hunt them. You know, and that's how Jake is out here.
These fake Israelites too. They're natural brute beasts, like Sakari.
Yep.
The Sakari flying monkey bunch. They're nothing but natural brute beasts, you know. Like it says, made to be taken. So they were specifically made to be taken. And then when the Lord take your ass, he gonna make an example out of you. That's right. You know, and then ensample. You know, the scripture speaks about ensamples to the flock. But these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things they understand not. You know, like I said, I gave you an example. You know, Sakari is your main example right now. The nigga have no understanding, but he's speaking evil of things he doesn't understand. "And shall utterly perish in their own corruption." All right? "And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they count it pleasure to riot in the daytime." Look up that word riot. Because to bring it home, it's really talking about you scoffers and you scorners. The word riot there is trufa in the Greek, and it says softness, effeminate, luxurious living. I'll read it again. It says softness, you soft niggas. Effeminate, which really means no faith, luxurious living. So, like you look at Nate, like Nate tries to paint that picture of luxurious living in the Israelite world, you know. Going back to scripture, it says, they count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. Having eyes full of adultery that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and heart they have exercised with covetous practices. Cursed children. That's pretty much the point. But going back to the 12th verse, what does the scripture call them? Brute beasts. All right, so that links up with what the Apostle Paul, how he described those individuals as being beasts, you know. It might as well be animals. That's it.
Yeah, because the animal has no sense of direction. They have no instructions. They have no laws, statutes, and commandments to guide them. So if they just, whatever is out there, that's what they do, you know. This is back in Isaiah 1:5. "Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint." You know, and that's why you see Jake out there. Pretty much, they believe that whatever they see in front of them, that's all they have. So if they can't get something, they have to take it from somebody else, because they're just in that state, you know. It says, "From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores." It's just like a person that's just all messed up. Their body's all jacked up. They're sick. That's how Jake is out there. You know, they're just like putrefying sores.
Yeah, that's a. When you look up that word putrefying, it means like a canker,
right?
Sore that gets worse and worse.
Right. Yep.
And that's these niggas, man. They're just getting worse and worse. That's why they got to be, you know, got to be pretty much exterminated.
Yeah, because it's left untreated, it just becomes worse. So it turns into a gangrene or something that kills, that infects the blood and it kills the body.
And that's why the Lord said He's going to kill 2/3 of His people, which is what is that? Zechariah.
13,
Zechariah the 13th chapter. 2 parts shall be cut off and die, but the third part will be brought through the fire. That is the elect. That's the best of the worst. of which we hope through faith that we're of that number.
Yeah, and that's why the Most High has the equalizer out there, which is these cops, to put you in check. Because some of you guys, man, you got to be put down. You got to be put down like a wild animal. You got to be put down like a crazy dog and shit. You got to be put down.
This is two scriptures, Proverbs, and hold for me. 2 Corinthians, 13 verse 6. This is Proverbs 24 verse 23. It says, "These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. He that saith unto the wicked, Thou art righteous." And see, I'm saying that for the sake of ISUPK. They're going to have their Passover today, which is the 23rd, which they're off by a couple of days. Even Nate spoke about that. He went into it and he said there's a camp out there having a Passover. He counted the days, 14 days. From the new moon, you count 14 days. The 14th day at evening is the Lord's Passover. But these guys are having it down there in Harlem. But on top of all that, which is wicked, because you're not obeying the Most High's word, you're doing your own thing. Matter of fact, hold on deck, Romans, the 10th chapter. You know what I want. Not only are they having a big, with their Passover, which is a bootleg Passover, they're going to invite heathens up in there. Wicked ass heathens. What I mean by that is Sarnetta, Polite, all them guys that are into the black unconsciousness movement. I call it unconsciousness because they're unconscious, man. They couldn't come around me, man, because they're the enemy and they're wicked. And they're wicked because they rejected the Lord. They rejected the Most High. Because we done when Polite and Sarnigga came down, we told them the truth and they rejected it, man. So once they're rejected, you're supposed to have nothing to do with it, man. So go ahead and read that.
2 Corinthians 13. I'll start at 5. It says, "Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua is in you, except you be reprobates." Verse 6. "But I trust that you shall know that we are not reprobates."
No, it's probably first unequally yoked. 6:13. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
2 Corinthians 6, 13, pointers and 14. Now for recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children. Be ye also enlarged. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Yahushua with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of the Most High with idols? For you are the temple of the living power. As the Most High have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Speak on that. In other words, if you got people, because now the thing is, they're trying to get all conscious people, because they calling us conscious. Well, you got the conscious Israelites, they're conscious. You got the Moors, they're conscious. You got the Kemetic people, they're conscious. You got Islam, they're conscious. And we all got to we ain't getting together with y'all. Because we first of all, you believe that you're a Kemite. You going back to that African bullshit, man. And the Moors is just a generic term, man. Over there in Spain, there's no such people as Moors. All right? Which goes back to Islam. The Most High ain't dealing with Islam. The Most High ain't dealing with Kemet. So we have no business dealing with them guys. If you got a guy that says he believes in some African god or some Egyptian pharaoh, we can't have no company with that dude, man. You got to be separate from that individual, man. So and you're gonna find out, man. You guys, you clowns that followed under Yohana, you're gonna find out, man. When the Most High destroys that whole thing, you're gonna be scurrying, man. You're going to be scurrying looking for the truth because you thought this man had the truth. And you're going to find out this man does not have the truth, man.
The book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter, 10 to 11 verse, it says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. I mean, that explains itself.
In other words, curse them out. Tell them that they're going off. Here you got Tazariak talk the debate that Reggie had with the Moor. I forget the guy's name. And he said, well, Reggie should just be a researcher. He should just be First of all, I don't give a damn what the fuck Reggie does, man. You know? First of all, he doesn't have the truth. You should have told him, first of all, you don't have the truth. Neither the Moors have the truth. None of you have the truth. And the ones of you that don't have the truth, the end result is death, man.
It says back in 2 Corinthians 6 and 17, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Yeah, because them dudes are unclean. You can't be hanging around with them dudes. All them demonic spirits that they got on them from that Kemetic bullshit, that's the same shit that Israel was doing in the wilderness. And what did the Most High do? He took them all out. He wouldn't allow none of them to come into the land except for the children. And the only two that came out of Egypt, which was Joshua and Caleb, they were the only ones that were worthy to go into the land. You know? Why? Because they all became unclean, because they all were secretly worshiping the stuff, the idols that they were worshiping in Egypt. You know? Then they were secretly, wanting to go back. Basically, they wanted to go back to Egypt. So if Egypt was so great, why did the Most High not say, okay, well, you want to go back to Egypt, go back to Egypt? He killed all those people. This is serious business, man. It says, and will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, saith the power Almighty, the Lord Almighty. This is Romans 10 and 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. And that's why you guys are keeping the Passover not on the right day. What is it, like the 17th day of the month? Because you're going about to establish your own righteousness. Because if you held it during the week, you might not get as many people to come, and that's less money for you. So you're holding it on a day where it's more convenient for you. But what about what the Most High said? You care more about what your pockets than you care about the Most High. And they use Passover because, look, it's in the scriptures. That's why I said they go about to establish their own righteousness. And that's where the Most High is going to start dealing with you guys out there that call yourself leaders and are leading people astray. Yes, on the pastor. Okay. All right, so let me read on. It says, for Yahushua is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. For Moses described the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. And you being a teacher and a leader, matter of fact, you're supposed to be upholding the truth. You ain't supposed to be doing your own thing. You ain't supposed to be going out there holding the Passover whenever you want to hold it. This is Malachi chapter 2, verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. And right now, the Lord said he's making the whole nation a nation of priests. So you guys out there that call yourself Israelites that are supposed to be leaders, you're supposed to be showing the people the correct way to do things, not no things that's beneficial for you. And a lot of you out there that's in the different camps, General Yohana, Nate, and the rest, Bubble Light Blackfish, Rakar from the GOCC, all you guys are teaching for filthy lucre's sake. That's your motivation. Your motivation is money. Your motivation is not the truth and the sincerity of the scriptures. Your motivation is this monetary gain. And the Most High is going to deal with you on that, man.
And the Most High going to deal with you, troop. Okay, troop. Okay, you thugged out Israelites out there. Deuteronomy 6, verse 5, it says, and thou shalt love thy power, Yahweh, with all thine heart, in other words, mine, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. It says, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Because what you're doing is not diligent. And shalt talk of them, the laws, when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be a frontlets between thy eyes. That's where you get the phylacteries from. It says, and that means, you know what it means, man? Thy hand and thy eyes, it means it's supposed to be in you. But the scribes and Pharisees, they see the laws between my eyes and on my hand. And it's that's why the Lord called them a bunch of hypocrites, man. Most High didn't tell you to wear the laws, the Most High told you to do the laws. It says, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. For you guys that claim you literally keep the law, you ain't writing on the posts of your gates in your house. And it shall be when Yahweh, thy power, shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. Because those are the Canaanites. They built it, so you're going to take their houses. It says, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells digged, because the Canaanites did that, which thou diggest not, vineyards. So the Most High set it up where all you had to do was kill them off, and this is your home. But that the requirement was you have to kill these Hamites. So you got Divine Prospect talking about there's a connection between us and the Hamites. That's not scriptural. They're the enemy, man. It says, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. So the olive trees are going to be there with olives on it, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. It says, then beware lest thou forget Yahweh, which brought thee forth out of the land of Martezayim, which is Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear Yahweh thy Most High, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. So you got guys not calling on the name of the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You got guys not following the Lord to the letter. Because the Passover can't be when you want it to be, man. It's when the Most High said for it to be. Ye shall not go after other gods of the gods of the people which are round about you. So you got these guys in the black conscious community that are following other gods, so you're not supposed to be around them, man. That's why when Sarnetta came down to the camp, them young brothers ignored him, man. Now, if I was there and I would have talked to him, I would have been cutting him. I said, look, man, you still in this nonsense, you know, the Most High is going to destroy you. But them brothers said they chose not to talk to the man. And we don't got to talk to you. Whether we talk to you or not, if we are going to talk to you, we got to set you straight. Look, man, you're going off, and I'm just warning you that the Most High is going to destroy you, man. If you keep following that comedic bullshit, the Most High is going to destroy you. But you're not living in reality right now. See, when reality hits you in the face, right before you drop dead, then you're gonna try to get right, but it's gonna be too goddamn late.
You ain't getting no money. You think money is your enemy.
1 Samuel 15 and 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Now this was spoken to Saul, but you know what? This applies to anyone that this applies to. The scriptures say rebellion rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And now what's the penalty for witchcraft or being a witch? Death. So you guys that's playing around with the word of the Lord's going to kill you, man. It says, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. And that's you guys that call yourself in the truth. You know, you have the truth. You have the basics, of the truth going back to 1 West. No, but you staggering off your own philosophies. It says, for the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers and the seers hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learnt, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learnt, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learnt.